Hey you guys, we are here to do my end of month May recap for my debt, and this is where I just kind of update you on all of the numbers and show you the progress that I've made between extra debt payments, minimum payments, or even my debt snowball. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the next targeted debt was my 401k loan. This I took out in 2019. This was my first attempt to get out of debt. And yeah, I failed at it. I was not doing things 100% the right way at that time, which is why budgeting is so important. If I had all of the pieces working together, then I probably could have gotten out of debt back then. But yeah, alas, here we are. It was a learning lesson, and I never want to do it again. So in May, I made my biweekly pay of $39.81. That dropped me down to $32.92. And then May 7th, I paid it off. As soon as the payment cleared on this, I did a little estimate of with tax and everything, and I shouldn't say tax because it just really goes back into your 401k loan, but I did all of that and it came out to 33 evenly. But yeah, so this is paid off, guys. This is paid off. That's super exciting. And I do want to say that it takes them a little bit to catch up, but they were very quick about it. So when I paid it off, even though I had just gotten paid, and this happened right when I got paid, the next pay cycle at my job, they took out another minimum amount, whatever. So they very quickly turned around and paid it back to me. So we are all set. Everything's good. They're not still pulling money. It just takes time for them to talk to my employers to say, hey, this is being stopped, that sort of thing. So we are all good, but I'm just very happy that this is paid off. And actually, before we color that in, let's jump to here. So let's say as of May 7th, this 401k loan is paid off. It's so exciting. So that happened very quickly. I am really happy about this. So May 7th was the 401k loan. So I have met my goal for 2024 already. And we are in the second quarter. So that's so freaking amazing. So I don't know why. Just it felt like such a long reach to be able to pay off two debts. Now that I'm here, I'm just kind of flabbergasted. But yeah, that's super exciting. Okay, so let's go back and color this in. And stay tuned. We have some more debts to go through. Awesome. Okay, so that is it on this debt. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so there was a lot of action on my Wells Fargo loan. The way that my April minimum fell, it was paid in March, so there was no activity whatsoever in April. But so I last left it off where my balance was $2,929.40. And then April. And then May 2nd, I made my May minimum payment, which brought me down to $2,899.40. Then May 3rd, I decided that my overtime pay that I was earning, I wanted to do an extra debt payment directly so that I could see my balance go down. I just wanted that dopamine hit, I guess. I mean, you don't have to funnel everything through savings challenges, you know? Like I was telling myself I had to, whatever, but I can do it kind of however I want to, right? It's my personal finances. So I decided, you know what? It would be great to see the balance drop. So I paid, and I was so sick and tired of that 40 cents. So I paid $400. Oh my gosh. I paid $500.40, bringing me down to $2,399. Then May 17th, I made another extra debt payment. So this was again when I got paid again. So it was $200 paid, brought me down to $2,199. Then on April 30th, I made my June minimum. So I think I messed up somewhere, and no, that would have been right. Cause I don't know, since I had all these extra payments, I'm not really sure what happened here. Maybe it was 30 and I was like, F it, I'll do 31. I don't really honestly know. But anyways, 31 was paid. The balance is $2,168. And sadly, the debt snowball money, like in my debt binder, I finished some savings challenges. It was $254, I want to say. Sadly, I could not deposit that and put it towards May's progress, because when I was making a payment to this minimum, and then later on I was going to do my extra payment for the money from my debt binder, and it told me I was maxed out on payments. So apparently you are limited with the amount of payments that you can do in one single month. So based on this data here, I'm gonna say that their limit is 4 payments in one single month. So unfortunately, the finished savings challenges that I finished in May are just going to have to go towards June. And it's a bummer because I was about to get to a milestone of being in the 1000s, but that's okay. At least I know I'm going to have a nice chunky payment to go towards it. But we do have quite a bit of progress to color in. So since the balance is 2,168, we are just going to color between the 25 and the 30%. So that's awesome. That's great progress. Awesome. So some great progress has been made on that. Love that. Okay, so my next debt is through Lending Club. This is a personal loan that I got. This is where I consolidated all of my credit card. Well, not all of them, almost all of them. I didn't pull out enough money to cover all of the balances at the time. That's way back in the archives of my debt confessions. I can certainly link that for you. One of my very first debt confessions. I made a payment on May 22nd, and this was my May minimum. So the minimum payment that I pay on this is $338.16. So that brought my balance down from $11,019, which was so frustrating. I was just like right there on the cusp. But now we are in the 10,000s, so that's so super cool. So $10,777.44. Then, because of that whole issue with Wells Fargo, I decided that my overtime pay, my extra debt payment that I kind of like to do directly now lately, I decided to put on this balance. So May 30th, I made a $422 payment on this, bringing the balance down to $10,355.44. So excited, guys, because this was 100% a principal payment. 100% of this payment went to nicking down this balance. So I believe the last that I looked at it, when I make my minimum of $338.16, about $218-ish is going to principal, and the remaining of that is going to interest. So usually it takes me, I want to say, between 4 and 5 minimum payments, so 4 to 5 months before I can like drop into the next 1,000, if that makes sense. Like dropping from to the 11,000s to the 10,000s. So oh man, it felt so good to do this. And I actually think I do want to pivot moving forward. If I line it up in such a way that I am throwing my debt snowball and whatever I need to have my Wells Fargo paid. So my 0% expires November 7th. So if I can line that up in such a way that I am making sure that I'm on track with this debt, then any extra payments at the same time I can just put to my lending club. And that would be awesome, because this Wells Fargo debt, the interest after the promotional period goes up to 29.99% interest. So I don't want to have any interest with that. So it just felt so good to do this, and I loved seeing the progress, and it just motivated me more to make this happen, to kind of like attack them at the same time. Because like if I focus all of my efforts onto this, it's just adding $30 to $31 in my debt snowball, which isn't a huge deal. But at the same time, my debt snowball can focus towards this. But I don't know. I just figure if I can line it up in the same, like, why not just kind of hit them at the same time? You know what I mean? So this is great because we can make a little bit of progress here. So 10% brings it at $10,294.89. We're not quite there. So I don't know. I'll say that we're at around 8 or 9% progress on this. So when I took this out originally, the balance was $15,000. So this one is a slow going one. I took this out in September of 2022, but that's just because it was front loaded where a crap ton of interest was coming out at the beginning. And the more and more I pay it, the more and more principal I'm building on this balance when I do pay. So that's exciting. So that is the lending club. Okay, and then lastly is my student loan balance. On average, my interest is 6.66%. I just made my May minimum payment, which was $200. So my balance is $6,182.56. So with the way that the interest hits and everything, the cool thing is like in June when I make my payment, I'm going to get to the 5Ks, which is so exciting. But because of the interest, it's going to bump me back a little bit into the 6,000 range again, because I think I'm averaging, I don't know, $36 of interest in the pay cycle. So I might get bumped back up next month, but you know, I'm jumping ahead. I don't know. I've seen the 6,000s for a while and I'm just ready to move on. You know what I mean? So this actually is so funny. It's kind of the same as the lending club. We're probably around 8 or 9% paid off based on when I started using these tracking sheets. So keep that in mind. Of course, I did not pick the correct pink. So we have a little ombre situation happening. But this is it, guys. This feels so good. We are making some progress on these debts, especially I feel like in the second quarter. I feel like I was really getting momentum in the first quarter because that's kind of when I had a better idea that like I was feeling better with my eye and everything. And the second quarter, I really started ramping it up. So I'm so excited to get this debt paid off. Thank you so much for staying here with me on this journey, for clicking on this video. Leave me a hashtag crystal. I just happened to be looking at my crystal and I never come up with these things prior, so that was very spontaneous of me. But anyways, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support and your kind comments. I hope you have a great day. Bye.